Yeah, yes, I just read me. It's not say yeah, not to say wow when you say oh my Ghana who political headlines in the be and now yes so yeah baby bobo who edi be abesomo na mo so who the echo and the epa POG media so na message so your for say the dan the no yeah ma you made in your tinting message so bebo the subscription and you on our drop subscription now I see notification bell no say the be also be updates in be now I share no for so answer so etimi aka na yɛbɔ awura nsɛm a na kyerɛ sɛ yɛnan da so sie ɛyɛ adubu ahen ɛyɛ ne nsɛm a kyerɛ sɛ ɛno nso ɛdi ɛyɛ atrɛmpie ɛwɔ ɛyɛ Ghana political highway no so na ɛka mi akɔyɛ sɛ the fresh update a ɛno nso aba ɛde kyerɛ sɛ saa sika pudu a ɛyɛ almost ɛyɛ 7 ɛyɛ million ɛyɛ US ɛyɛ dollars no a kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ kabute nso ɛde ne nsa bɔ mu ɛde ne din to so ɛde ɛbɔ ɛde gu ɛyɛ private account bi a na kyerɛ sɛ onim sɛ obiara ntumi ho akyere ɛnam ne abilities a ɔno nso ɛwɔ asɛ computer ɛyɛ gold no na wei na ɛyɛ AG ɛyɛ ayɛ ni ɛso ɛbɔ adwuma yie paa nso ɛtumi gather evidence ɛfekye ɛyɛ saa nneɛma no nyinaa out a na wei na temu pa anaasɛ adwene a na kyerɛ sɛ ɛwɔ ɛyɛ adubu ahentiri mu a ɔno nso ɛde wi a ɛyɛ saa sika puduo yi na kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ way back ɛyɛ 2024 election a ɛno nso yɛyɛ a ɛyɛ Bawumia nso ɛtumi di ntwo no ɛyɛ allegedly na kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ some foreigners bi a kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo nso sɛ ɔmo wɔ ɛyɛ Saudi Arabia man mu nso ɛtumi firi adubu ahen ɛhyɛ ne bɔ kyerɛ sɛ ɔtumi boa no ayɛ sɛ ɛyɛ Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kyerɛ sɛ ɔno nso yɛ sɛbi ɔyɛ Muslimin no ɔno nso tumi bɛdi ɔman Ghana so a ɔmbɛboa no akyerɛ sɛ ɔmo nso bɛtumi ama ne planes bi a ɔno nso bɛtumi ɛde ayusi no na wei na ɔno nso nyaa saa idea wei sɛ ɛne ɛmoma ne saa planes a ɔno nso de bɛwura ne airline a ɛno nso ɛde sika twitwiri de ɛba abɛgu ne bɔtɔm na before ɔso bɛwura ne airline no ohia sika yɛde ɛnam sɛ yɛde nam ne yi nam nti na ɔno nso ɛwi a saa sika puduo yi ɛyɛ 7 US million no US dollars no sɛnka ɔno nso ɛde ba bɛ ɛbɛfande ɛyɛ saa ne airline ɛyɛ business no abusua mɛyɛ sɛ ɛbɛgye brɛ ne abɔ ɛde rasa issue mi that's
How come now Edu Boahen wanted to start an airline with stolen money? When Bawumia was standing, he probably believed that the hackmasters were on top of the game and were ready for action. Come now Edu Boahen alongside Joe Anoche, we have the man, Alan Chematin, Bafoya Koto, Joe Anoche, Kwabna Edu Boahen, Bawumia. But the NDC had learned its lesson. It had embarrassed itself in court because it couldn't tally results and all that collate results. Some of the members went there drinking tea and carving biscuits and forgot about the elections. This time round, they brought Omani Buama on, another computer whiz kid who attended the same secondary school as Kobna Edu Boahen. Come here! Same Edu Boahen. And he was also technically inclined. IT. They did their work well, put things in place, and maybe this time around, the hackmasters failed. Everything they did failed, and Mahama won the election. But this is the information in the vineyard. And this is dangerous. The hackmasters were said to be at work, and Edu Boahen was promised by some partners in Saudi Arabia that if he was able to do whatever he could do to make a Muslim become president in Ghana in the name of Bawumia. And you know the Saudi Arabian flag. What is on it? La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. If you are in Saudi Arabia and you are Christian, this might not resonate with you, especially the Muhammad part, or Hindu, or any other, but the nation generally subscribes to this and believes in this. And this is the sword that fights all the enemies of Saudi Arabia. So, Addo Boahen was allegedly promised by Saudi Arabia that, you know what, you the hack masters, if you can do this, we'll give you 100 planes. Saudi Arabia, some people in Saudi Arabia who were so interested in seeing a Muslim president were ready to give Addo Boahen 100 planes. And with those planes, he wanted to start an airline. With the stolen money, stealing from the account of the national security into his own B.N.C hacked accounts, $7 million American dollars. He was comfortable. He was going to have an airline. Now this conversation came up, my brother, my sister, in interrogation and some other sectors. That was how the dream of a 44-year-old to own an airline crashed because of Omani Boama and some other people who stood firm to make sure that the elections were not compromised, like the other times, allegedly. His dream crashed. It flew across his face like a fleeting illusion. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Watch this. Wingham betrayed. Did Addo Boahen bribe Duncan Williams? Hey, Wingham betrayed. Did Addo Boahen bribe Duncan Williams? Now, who is Wingham? His full name is St0lén Wingham. He's all the way from the Bunkurugu Napanduri area in the northeast region of Ghana. What you call Bunkurugu Yoyo. That's where this gentleman is from. But this man here called St0lén Wingham, my brother, my sister, was born right here in Accra at Tema Community 4 to Mr. and Mrs. Wingham. He's a very noble son of the land. Now, somewhere in 2022, he contested to become the superintendent, the head of the Assemblies of God Church after several years of experience. He went to school at Temasco, right there in Tema. He was born in Tema. Then he also went to study theology. He has a master's in theology. This gentleman here, he also studied a bit of governance. So the guy is open-headed and open-minded. Now this man here was born in the same month of my birth, this month of September. But he was born on the 19th of September. Oh yes, 19th September, 1972. So he's 2 years older than me. My brother, my sister, he has been overly interested in Christianity and he's dedicated himself to Christianity. In fact, he became the superintendent of the Assemblies of God Church, the whole Ghana. Are you aware the Assemblies of God Church is almost 94 years old? And he won the elections. 30,000 delegates and over. So many different people all over Ghana met in Cape Coast. Over 300,000 members of the church all over. In their full glare, they saw this man here called St0lén Wingham, elected as superintendent. My brother, my sister, and the first acceptance speech he made, he ruffled feathers. He said, once you have chosen me as your leader, there's one thing that is my biggest responsibility, to unite the Assemblies of God Church. That meant there was no unity. Now, who did he take over from? One Reverend Dr. Yao Frimpong Manso. He had been there as the superintendent for 12 solid years. Now they have a 4-year term period each. After that, you can go in just like the president for re-election. But in their days, the days of Yao, Frimpong Manso, they were able to touch their constitution, and then he could go for a third term. My brother, my sister, according to him, he was looking forward to uniting the Assemblies of God Church. And then he made it clear in Cape Coast that, hey, listen, you know what? We were the first to start a Bible school right here in Ghana. We were one of the biggest and the most respected Pentecostal churches in the whole of Ghana and beyond. But today, all that has gone down. And we were the first to even start radio evangelism and social media. My brother, my sister, I want to return the Assemblies of God to that era. Has he succeeded? He's done well. So many people love him. The young ones all love him. That's how come Kobna Edubwahin became a member of the Assemblies of God Church. But the interesting thing is that the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, is also a member of this man's church where he's a superintendent, the Assemblies of God Church. Not that, because I'm going to be hitting a raw nerve very soon. My brother, my sister, so that is this man. At the time that he was elected superintendent, he was only 50 years old. Today, my brother, my sister, he's 52. And on the 19th, he will turn over a new age. This is the gentleman, Stephen Wingham. My brother, my sister, from the Bunkurugu, Nakpanderu area. There's a small village there called Paknatik. Paknatik, that's where he is from. Stephen Yenusum Wingham. And interestingly, he has 2 children. And both children bear indigenous Bunkurugu, Nakpanduri names. Unlike some Christian leaders who only go for John, Jonathan, Habakkuk, Zachariah, Haggai, those names supposedly.
Like you made a message over drop like Nasa own shares who are any deal quans who are be share among you now, you answer who the echo and the eba oh my Ghana muna and so much as a black rasta day to be a first time so meeting me encounter a yes a year. Issue and as a news way a highway news for an HS amount for to crack a news banner and as a amount for crack keys a year oh my Ghana political a year win. Now, I said, Boahen&Wife, I just said, Chiana near Bechino, and say, where the kind allegedly 2016 on home semi bomb a year about wooden, not to say, I paying for as if was out to almost after a while. As all wrong say, oh, really, I am around for meet to me, and as a meet to me, crown a bear day. Not just also waiting me a cat, I seem be at the at home 3 months. I said, on also by try, fat, and I'm saying, I just said, a year the JM, a year government, and I said, JM team now, I said, the NDC team no more banner, no so they meant business. I want to meet a young Kofuku, a year, Dubuama, a young Kofuku, and almost a year. IT intelligence, yeah, intellectual as I say, almost 18 boa, a stop a yes, a hackena, Nanka, a year Dubuahin, a de babe. Temper with the easy votes.
Mentioned in the Bible. He has given his children indigenous names, my brother, my sister. So this is the man we're talking about. For a long time, he was the pastor. He was the superintendent of Kobna Edubwahin. And he was at the Cedar Mountain International Church Assemblies of God right there in St0lén, my brother, my sister, before he became superintendent. Now he and another man are at each other's necks. Who is that other man? Duncan Williams. Now Duncan Williams is seen as the father of Pentecostalism in Ghana. In fact, he has not had so much education except to say that he's a theologian. He studied the Bible, religion, and all that. Give it to him. He's a man of prayer, we are told. And this man here was born on the 12th of May, 1957. So he's about 78 years. And he looks so good for a 78-year-old man, right? This is Duncan Williams. Now watch this. Duncan Williams has so many church branches all over Ghana and beyond. He is not a poor man. But we all know that the rich man, the richer he gets, the better. His biggest fear is when he realizes that his money is going down. Could that be the problem with Duncan Williams? Now let me tell you something that is about to puncture your ego. This guy became a member of the Assemblies of God church. He was throwing money in the church, maybe trying to clean his dirty money, according to security officials. He gained the respect of the people. Who is this guy? Every time there's a harvest, he doesn't give 10,000, 20,000. He gives about 1 million and even more. He caught the attention of the people. Some of the pastors started mentoring him. In no time, he became more than just an elder. He was a deacon of the church. He was given the microphone to even preach, encouraging people to do business and to stick to God, because it's God who makes people rich. At the time, he was stealing from the country. He wasn't depending on God, according to security officials. This is the guy. Now, let me tell you something interesting. When John Dramani Mahama became president of the Republic, also a member of the Assemblies of God Church, yes, Assemblies of God Church, quickly dispatched security officials for his boss, Wingham. His own boys from the NSB and National Security. Please pay attention to this story. That's what he did. Now, when the National Signals Bureau was created somewhere in 2020 thereabout, Kobna Edu became so powerful. Nana Akuffo Addo gave him so much powers that he didn't need to, in fact, report to anybody except him, Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo. Listen to this. This little boy became so overly powerful that he did not need to answer to any of his superiors, from the national security boss all the way through to anybody who he had gone there to meet, but he was only answerable to the president, Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo. So he had his own cells, the National Signals Bureau cells. He had his own people to arrest. He had his own artillery. You know what it means to say artillery? Weapons. My brother, my sister. And this is a man who loves the gun. A man who at a point was said to be behaving like a psychopath. He had security machinery for himself. He could spy on anybody he wanted. And he used this security apparatus, my brother, my sister, allegedly, according to security officials, to spy on Wingham. And because he knew Wingham was so close to the president, anywhere Wingham went, the apparatuses followed him, even to the president. Indirectly, the president was also being spied on. Security threat. This little boy could sit in his house and watch whatever Wingham was doing in the house of the president, because they were close. And he provided security apparatus for Wingham, all in the name of the Assemblies of God Church. When it came out that he was a common thief, he was stealing money, and a psychopath who was bringing down the security apparatus of the nation down and under threat. Remember, he threatened that if they took him to court and they were pushing too much, he will reveal so many national security details that will endanger Ghana. Do you remember? It's like a Hollywood movie. Leave me to go and blow my money. All the houses I have bought, all the girlfriends I have been banging. Leave me alone. If you touch me, I have this button, I'll press it, and everything will go up in flames, like we see in movies. My brother, my sister, when Wingham saw this, he got frightened. He couldn't believe that one of his biggest contributors at harvest and all that. The man who could preach and speak in tongues was doing this. But security apparatus showed him a few things about this crazy psychopath. And he pulled back. Addo Boahen would call him, he would not answer. At a point, he told him, you know what? You are on your own. You are too dangerous for me to look at. And he left the Assemblies of God Church. Listen, he left the Assemblies of God Church without warning. You know where he went next? You know where he went next with his stolen money? Duncan Williams. Duncan Williams. 78-year-old Duncan Williams. He went there. And when he arrived there, he told him, praise be to God. I'm a deacon of that church, but they betrayed me. They did this. Yes, I probably made a few mistakes, but I contributed a lot to the church. This is what I did. This is what I did. Even at this point, this was how much money I gave. Even Wingham has seen himself. Sometimes I did this personally for him, including security for him. And probably Duncan Williams became greedy. Greedy, like some men of God. When you see a man of God's big stomach like that, don't take it for a joke. It's full of greed. A lot of them. Maybe Duncan Williams is one of them. I don't know. And you know what happened? He accepted Addo Boahen. He accepted him. Come. You've made mistakes, eh? You won't repeat them, eh? We'll see what we can do. The first thing he did, with all his connections to the government and beyond, he called lawyer Addo sorry. Lawyer Thaddeus Sorry of the Sorry at Law. This is the man. He's one of Ghana's topmost lawyers, most respected. My brother, my sister, and told him, you know what? My boy needs your help. Use everything legal to set him free. Deal with it. And Thaddeus Sorry probably told him, let me study the case. And when he did, he got back to Duncan Williams and told him, you know what? This case, Dabi, I can't touch it. It's so bad. My brother, my sister. But Duncan Williams kept insisting. You must do something. You have to do something. Maybe he himself wanted to wash his hands off, but turning around to see the stack of cash and what the church will benefit, church in quotes. No, you must do something. Hallelujah. You must do something. Holy Baba. Do something. I said, do something. Thaddeus Sorry. And Thaddeus Sorry ran away. Let him run away. Dash him out. He ran away. Leaving Duncan Williams praying. Bring him. Bring the photo. Quick. Duncan Williams. He left him there praying. Hallelujah. And then he tried to tackle government officials. He didn't end there. He became Jantuahene. He, alongside Kandapa and also KT Hammond, have been tormenting security officials, begging, do something, do something, do something. If you know the guy is a common thief, if you know the guy is a security threat, if you know the guy is such a crazy criminal psychopath, as has been said by security authorities, why don't you let him face the full rigors of the law? Is the church now conniving with criminals? And because of that, Wingham is mad. He and Duncan Williams have a very good relationship. Oh, they talk well. They are okay. But Stephen Yenusum Wingham, this man here, has decided to distance himself. If this guy can endanger my security and the security of the president to this point, and you, Duncan Williams, will harbor this guy, then I wonder what I can do. I'm not interested. My brother, my sister, is the Assemblies of God Church, 94 years old in Ghana, versus the Action Chapel's Nicholas Duncan Williams. What will become of this story? We shall track it like a security camera and bring you more information. It's the Black Pot, aka Kokushonomo, and here we speak truth to power.
That's it. So come home. Na yepo Edirajo Medium say POG the Bano Ghana authentic political updater. A POG media super and I also bet me a can of the echo and the eba oh my Ghana. Now subscribe to the Mrs. Robert drop subscription. Now I hit the notification bell no bet me so abo at the comment section or now wedding come more on a POG boys no yabeba about Bawumia say the beya yeah you know and so bet me interactive. But that's it. So Jebre now come best